I just want to let everybody know before we start the meeting, we have our owl that will be recording the senior advisory board meeting for July 11th. Just want to let you know it's recorded.
All right, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting, the July meeting of the advisory board. Welcome, everyone. Citizens comments. Do we have anybody that has signed up to comment? We'll move on to the agenda item C1. Consider approval of minutes for the June 13th, 2024 meeting and take appropriate action. We had a chance to look at the minutes. I didn't see any corrections.
These are the exact same. So there hasn't been a correction on there.
Okay.
C3.
C3 discussed game on event. Kevin Branch asked about. That doesn't make sense.
About if the worst, if there was a caterer.
Asked if a caterer had been selected,
Correct.
just the wording or?
It's the wording. But it's the wording.
Asked if a caterer has been selected.
And we had these.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Just a question. Since why isn't there?
Any other corrections or additions to the minutes?
Should we accept the minutes with that correction?
All right, Amanda, motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mary, all those in favor? All right, let's move on to C2. Discuss the mixer program. Matt Rice requested this agenda item to discuss the mixer program.
Okay, so, first we had a first mixer at the, and it was great. I wanted Wayne to be here today because I wanted to thank him for everything that he's done as the president of the dance club. I remember in the past when the dance club picked the bands, they did all the treats, the snacks. They went out and bought them. They did all of it. They had a secretary because they collected the money for the dance. Well, now they don't do any of it. And I believe that board, Debbie and I do all that now. And I am proposing that we discontinue calling it a dance club. Because it's not a dance club. They used to make money, they used to donate things to the Branch Connection. They used to do a lot of things that they don't do anymore.
Well, I think with us not charging for it anymore, that takes their legs. Yeah. We're not gonna charge Dan, so.
So there's no need for a treasurer, there's no need for a vice president, no need for actually any of those people. And what I'm suggesting or recommending for is that the senior advisory board becomes more involved. Whereas there's 9 of us instead of 2 of us, that hopefully others can jump on board, help Debbie and I, senior advisor. We have new members coming on that can be younger, that can be more willing to help. And I'm just thinking that there's no longer a need for what they call a dance club.
What is younger and more willing?
Well, it's nothing personal, but you know, it's the fact that Wayne and Sharon are two of the older members of our dance. And they're being replaced with younger members.
Thank you.
Like you,
Well, but I think what we're trying to do, the board members on the dance club, not very helpful. And I think that's, I don't think that means younger people, I think he's kind of comparing them to who we are now in action, and yet, you know, it just seems like.
There's a board now for the dance club.
Dance club.
there's a dance club that Wayne,
The president.
But he does everything.
he doesn't do anything.
Oh.
He doesn't do anything. Debbie does most of everything.
Where does the money come from?
The Parks Commission.
We bought.
You said there was a treasurer, is there a rebalance?
No,
No, so there's no need for any.
They're not.
So it's the,
We have to start.
it's the perception of that club that because they're not collecting money, that they no longer are able to do anything.
Well, the dynamics, so the dynamics in what they used to do pre-COVID and what their involvement was at the center. They're the ones that booked the bands. They paid for the bands. They collected money.
Can't they still book even though?
No.
Bridge Connections paying for it?
No, Jennifer does all the.
Yeah, that's a service that we
Yeah.
negotiate and we pay out of our budget. So
But do they collect the band or then?
So that's, when we first started, we kind of built the Rolodex of the bands, and we had a lot of trial and error. And because now we're limited to the dances, right now it's all country western, but once we have our building back, we'll go back to country western. But when we started doing dances in July of 21, the dance club was the one that kind of vetted who to contact. to do
So
that.
is this full time club or is that just people show the program? It's a program. So it can just be a dance program.
It doesn't have to have an affiliation with the club anymore. It's just,
Well, I guess I would wonder because my mom used to be in a dance club and that was like her, like, where she loved being a member of a club. And if we so take that away and say, oh, no, it's a program.
Well, we consider everybody that comes to the dance
Yeah.
from the dance club.
Yeah.
That's what they have in the past.
Matt saying in dance club officers that just
Yeah.
kind of disband it and have people help. You know,
Seems like
and
they
just,
here.
just help, yeah, just help.
That's weird. It's like, so everybody just stop doing everything. Nobody volunteers and now you two are doing everything.
well, so when we had our building, it was Wayne, Gene Whitaker, no, not Whitaker,
Yeah.
Gene Henderson and Betty. When we started doing the dance. And
Angie Whitaker.
he showed up, so they would show up and like help drinks, do the counting up until a certain point, and then they would go in and dance. But like, they did those kind of things for the involvement of the dance, and then once we stopped having the dance, they kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
They still send out.
And she wants to volunteer to continue to do that.
You can't, it's a volunteer, it's volunteer for the program,
So but I'm just suggesting that we don't call it
just cut time.
cut time.
Matt, are you suggesting that it should be sponsored by the senior advisory board?
Or hosted by.
Maybe. I mean, doesn't really matter. Just as long as, we're willing to pitch in and help.
It's every week.
It will be when we
Yeah.
get back. So get right now, it's on. Senior, I'm not getting the senior. And we welcome any other volunteers.
Is it doing pretty good since they're doing the renovations?
The Nancy Watney, is 1842, was a nice turnout. I don't see any reason why continue to. They do for you. That's another thing that we need to address. Amy tried to come to the dance.
It's a lot. We're not going to get
Yeah,
out.
The gates that.
Sure, like, we're close. I went and pulled.
So the one on Fairfield Road should have been done and closed, but the main
We
one,
had to watch it close.
it should have been.
What time did you come?
It was like 7:45.
You said at 6. Yeah.
We put the wood.
It's not 8 o'clock. And the lady from the branch, she also tried to get it. She couldn't get it.
I wondered, because the gate closes by 6, but we went and there's a block that we put that keeps it open. But for the next one, A, we're gonna have golf carts, B, we added extra staff to it. So that way, if the wood block falls out, that's what causes it to close. That we may just make sure that as they're making rounds, that gate stays open.
I think parking was another issue.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so
Parking is gonna be a constant issue there.
Yeah.
so,
And I think that when I left there, we still had parking spots available. The main complaint was getting from point A to point B. With the golf carts that we're renting and the extra staff. That should move a lot faster.
Mention the next band is aware
Yeah,
of.
Bobby Germany was there at the dance.
Yes, sir.
And he and I talked about this. And how the volume was too loud and I think that, that's, so Bobby Germany's aware of that. So,
So any other thoughts, ideas?
I'm glad. I guess I don't know that I've ever been. You know,
Absolutely, because every week, back when we get back to Bridge Connection, Walmart, that's a lot.
well, the two of us are doing it now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if we can get one or two other people.
Yeah.
So that'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
be this band.
Especially say, goodbye to senior director.
You know,
Assistant, we'll say assistant. Assistant.
yes. We're not, it's not totally under our control.
Everything we do is a team effort. So,
100%.
Continue. Right. Anything else about? We're gonna go on to C3, discuss the game night event. This agenda item is to discuss the Branch Connection game night event. The staff has confirmed game night day, time, location, and genre. This agenda item allows the senior advisory board to discuss and provide direction on all aspects needed for game night. It will remain an agenda item until the conclusion of the game night event. This will also allow an opportunity to discuss the new fiscal year game night event and discuss dates if the game night event would evolve into a series or multiple social events versus one big event.
Yeah. Lots of fun. Well, so I guess really important is everyone on donation for the price. Everyone, if anyone need anything from me to get going, we're not working on it. Yeah.
that's my excuse.
Okay. Does Mary? Take one of these and pass it down with each one of these that I'm giving you. And we'll talk about what the game night is. You know what?
ever.
Even
And, yeah, you are.
You have.
What's this?
We got money.
Yeah, ticket.
Yes, we got money.
Yes, you get one. Yeah.
September 20. Gotta be back in the right side. of it.
You have it.
Did y'all get the packet that looked like this?
No, they're sitting here, Mary has.
No, I.
I told you what to do.
So good.
Oh, Mary, you ever changed that?
So, let's first talk about the restaurant. We have two successful restaurants to choose from. And, one is called Luby's, that's the first page, and the other one is called Sugar Beet Kitchen. And Luby's, most of you are familiar with, if not all of you.
I
And
was
then-
there a couple times a week.
Yeah. And then Sugar Beet Kitchen is a woman-owned business. And, in a chamber. So Luby's cost is $4,764 to serve 34 people. And Sugar Beet is $6,562.50. And I wanted y'all to evaluate the two. I believe that Luby's has a good enough selection. And Sugar Beet has a good selection. There's quite a bit of a price difference. And
What is just gonna provide all these entrees?
no, we get to choose from two different entrees, two different sides.
It'd be the same thing. Two, yeah. If you want to have 3 or 4.
Well, they're just offering, oh, I see.
And Sugar Beet is only for 250 people. For 250 revenue.
I've got two sugar beets or something. I don't have.
Well, you got 2.
Yeah.
It's on the country. It's on the page. Yeah, right.
Where's it?
So, have you all had a minute to look at them?
Aren't there any desserts on Sugar Beet?
On the back.
It's on the page.
Internal.
Because
Well, I want to get first make sure which restaurant we're gonna order from. Then we're gonna go through and select which two entrees and which two sides and which two desserts we're gonna get.
I thought,
Uh-huh.
the,
They should.
because of the difference in the two bids, is this coming out of the donation connections we're coming from, it should have the budget?
This comes out of the, this comes out of the budget for January.
No.
Yeah, those are-
So, if, what else is in the budget for game night, then we'll offset $2,000.
Well, I'll talk about that after we decide on a meal. A provider, and what we're gonna eat. I'll talk about, I have a whole list of things to talk about, what's coming out of that budget.
Okay, what my concern is, what are we eliminating? Decoration, if we go with that.
Decoration.
I say movies.
Movies.
I eat there 5 times a week and I always have food too.
So Mary Bluey's, Matt Bluey,
I'm gonna lose.
Libby's,
Yeah, I follow your food.
Libby's, and Sharon. Okay. All right. So now. What do we want for our entree? We have chicken tetrazzini, baked chicken, liver and onions, chopped steak, bacon cheese steak, turkey and dressing, or chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak.
And their turkey and dressing is wonderful.
But it's holiday.
So we have 2 for
Chicken fettuccine and chicken,
Oh, we only get one entree.
chicken
Get
fettuccine and chicken fried.
No
Okay.
liver and onions? But
We take all that.
I like turkey and dressing. And chicken fried steak is fine. Okay. The chicken fried steaks are much better than salt. For this big and all meat, not all bread. Salt bread. Have to say.
Chicken fettuccine and, chicken fried steak.
I'm gonna go with bacon cheesesteak and chicken tetrazzini. If I'm bacon, cheesesteak and chicken tetrazzini. Chicken fried steak, turkey and dressing.
And the turkey and dressing comes with the dressing. I think I served a sign. They have wonderful turkey. As good as your mother. They're all in.
Sharon, what'd you do?
Okay. Yeah, Sharon.
Chicken fettuccine and the chicken fried steak.
All right, so that, we have 5 votes for chicken tetrazzini and 5 votes for chicken fried steak. The other ones did not have enough votes to make it. For the sides, we have mashed potatoes, corn, green bean casserole, broccoli cheese, or broccoli casserole, and roasted mixed squash.
2 different sides.
We get you.
We get 2
I'll
sides.
start. Broccoli casserole and mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes and roasted mixed squash.
I'm gonna go for casserole.
Go with mashed potatoes and big squash.
Mashed potatoes and roasted mixed squash.
Sharon.
Mashed potatoes and the green bean casserole.
I think
I'm gonna go mashed potatoes and green beans. Now, will they include, gravy with that? They have brown gravy, green gravy.
Well, we'll have to make sure we get gravy.
Yeah.
And we're having chicken fried steak.
Right, yeah. We'll get green gravy.
So that I got.
Yeah.
The most votes on mashed potatoes and roasted mixed squash.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. And now we have desserts. We have apple, cherry cobbler, and then lime congeal. Which is,
You know what the lime and geo is?
Lime congeal is a jello, and it has pineapple and cottage cheese in it, and it's got a big doublet of whipped cream in it with the cherry. They're about this big, they're good size. They're really good, they're real refreshing. And, the cherry cobbler is one.
Oh,
Cherry is my. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do that.
Sorry, Molly, I had a little emergency. Yeah.
Are you okay?
So, Mary, you started already? You said cherry and lime?
Or you want me to start it? I thought you just all want to know what the lime congeal is.
you can start.
Well, I love the lime congeal. I sell a lot of it. We just get one dessert, two desserts. I would say the lime congeal and the cherry cobbler.
Matt?
Is. Say, apple cobbler and,
Me too.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the apple on the lime.
Two cobblers.
The two cobblers.
You get to choose.
I choose.
Oh,
Okay, well, that was simple. The two cobblers.
yeah. That's all. They're both wonderful.
This is good news. We know what we know who we're buying from. Now, I need to tell y'all, what do you want here in our hand? Do we want actors? Do we want our photo booth? Do we want our caricatures?
Yes, yes, to all of the above.
Okay. What about a DJ in the lobby?
In the lobby?
No.
Caricature.
Caricatures in the lobby. So y'all don't want any music anywhere?
I would like VJ. I would kind of VJ kind of makes sense. There was some great music.
Yeah, the decoration. No, you got some Bing Crosby. We got Frank Sinatra, we've got,
Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
we've got.
Madonna.
Yeah.
Just concerned that we're putting everything else in the oven. We're not gonna have them.
Got one song.
Yeah.
You want a DJ, you want people to dance. I don't think that. When for everybody, all the motion people coming in and out. And in the hallway.
And, playing lots and just want to make that slot. DJ should get in there, in Jamaica. They do the same place that they were during Veterans Day. And mark off a little dance floor there, and have the other things.
We had another idea coming up. That had to take something from the space in the gym. We have to decide between that and.
Okay, well, so let's wait for, DJ.
I think we should definitely have a DJ, or not have music. So,
I think we figure out the logistics. And seems like we can figure it out if we.
For our entrees, we're gonna have two chickens.
Now, one's a steak.
Oh, we're gonna steak.
She's a try.
So chicken and steak. Excuse me.
Didn't say
Somebody
that.
over.
Okay, so, let's talk about the decorations. That's this packet.
Just kidding.
So, can you review these?
Well, kind of way back in here.
But you know, on the vegetables, you do have two of the same.
Two starches? No,
Starches,
The auction has stuff.
but it's roasted mixed. Is
Yeah.
it breaded?
No,
It's not,
Yeah.
shouldn't be breaded.
it should be the different kinds of squash.
Probably zucchini, yellow squash.
I've not ever seen that.
Tomatoes.
Usually it's mixed like natural. Like it's squash vegetable. So that can be too far.
I think these are just cut up, sloppy.
It is mine.
Correction.
oh, I think I put it,
One of the color change.
yeah,
So do you guys remember when we first presented through the decades and we had that visual a pathway and it showed different colors as and on the side, it had like 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that? So it kind of did a feeling of walking through the decades.
Yes.
Probably not like that. So here's the thought. Now, the color one in the middle, it's kind of in the middle of your packet. So to put maybe like a walkway around the exterior of the game room, so like all the gambling will be like on the interior. People could kind of walk along the outside, we'd have like this, maybe like, fancy barricade, different color. We could have the floor coloring change as it was going into another decade. And part of the process as it was flowing from decade to decade could be different posters that were on the wall. There's access to all these light cardboard, and there's some of those in this packet. Just different life-size cardboard cutouts of characters from the different decades. Because we originally thought maybe like each corner of the room would have a different theme for a different decade.
Right.
So maybe one corner would be the 50s, one corner would be the 60s. So people could actually kind of meander around through the outside of the room and experience the different decades. And so we would decorate the walls kind of accordingly as it flowed through the decades. So that was just a thought as far as one decorating idea. To demonstrate the decades, and then of course, different things in the packet, like you've got some of the photo ops. There's lots of different ideas for that. And all of these little pictures, all of these can be like life-size cutouts. So they can be different people.
I go there.
These pictures are all on Amazon. A lot of these are like 50, 60 bucks for the life size. You've got some of these which are like posters from different times, like you've got the one from the Rat Pack from the 70s. This was like a life-size vehicle, a cutout, which could be fun. Yeah. So, just different things like that as far as to express the decades.
That's a 57 shilling.
Well, and I'm sure you know your cards. There's, but the kind of the overall concept, if you guys like that idea, would be to kind of continue the idea of what was first presented through the decades, that I think caught everybody's interest. And then do that walkway around the exterior with the gambling on the inside, but give people the opportunity to kind of experience.
Well, there's people that won't gamble Yeah, the bingo.
Right, but they can walk
So
through
they
it,
can come in and then be scrimmaged.
and they wouldn't, be interfering with anybody that's on the inside gambling, if they're away. So, just a thought, we thought it might be a way to preserve the idea that we started with,
I like the corner.
keep it going around the entire room. And, insurance it to people that still want to come through and experience the concept. So,
We do the entire room. Kind of a big expense, and then I think if we just did the corners, because people are going to be busy and dark. I was just thinking about the expense.
Yeah, well, we obviously look at it. Just a reminder at the rec center, when it's playing game night, you'll lose the entire west wall. There will be bleachers there. So you won't really be able to hang anything or make an experience because it'll be overtaken by bleachers. The east wall will be a wall and you can have the experience with there. Nothing will be blocking there. So there'll just be the three walls.
Well, if we have things that stand up independently, could we stand them up in front of the bleachers?
Yeah, you can, but you'll be right, yes, you'll be right there where the game is going on in the middle. Those bleachers,
Well, they could, yeah, we can
they
kind
do, but they still come out. Yeah.
Well, at least we could use the bleacher wall. As the wall that we put the band on, put the
Yeah.
floor on, and so that way we. Lots of space in that.
How much of that really?
Casino's gonna take a lot of room.
We don't have any tables, how many square feet they, and then it tells us how much we have left.
No, the other room's gonna have activities within too. I think. So if you have a DJ, you're gonna play music over the dinner.
They're gonna come, if they're gonna wanna dance.
The other rooms are just really for eating and bingo.
I'll do this. No, if you.
Bingo, you would want blue music in there. But all of
so we have two rooms beside the gym.
We have three.
One is for food.
One's for bingo, the rest is for people to eat. And we'll probably convert the third room into bingo after people get done eating.
We used to have our middle school madness in the Magnolia.
Did
And we had a DJ in there.
Yeah, and then you could put this on walls and then have a DJ in there. Plenty of room to dance and her dance.
Well, if we ran the music through the intercom, we could put it in the third room. The dancing could be in the third.
We don't have an intercom like that. The only intercom we have is basically just to tell people that it's closing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really, the DJ is, I
So
said,
the
the way I
DJ
see
should
it,
be in
the
the.
DJ intention is to make the mood of the game room.
Yeah.
It's not meant to make the mood, but
Not for
dinner.
creation.
What?
Dancing.
DJ,
Okay.
you have Bluetooth, I think just think Bluetooth.
Yeah.
We need a Bluetooth capable DJ.
Yeah, all like the direction that,
Yeah, I like that.
I like this. Adult sign. We've used those in the past, and they were always big.
Yeah.
Super expensive. But don't forget my car.
I think the bus. It's all that page right there.
So like people could stand behind it, take their photo.
But me, John.
did you hear that?
It's like
John. Tom. No. No 80s people in here.
You remember the Volkswagen bus we had? You still have that?
That was just my note. And that was just.
So I guess the question we still have to answer is this through the decades will be in a special room or along the hall,
It'll be in the game room, the casino.
in the game, in the.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna-
And I think it's
Right, so
another one to figure out.
The eating table will have decorations like the.
Always said it was like-
It's pretty dark. Yeah, and it was last year.
Yeah,
Last year we were at the Branch Connection.
but our lights dim at the branch connection. I don't know, at the recreation center, because the lights dim in the gym.
They dim in the hallways.
Yeah, so it'll be bright.
The rec.
at the recreation.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so, now let's move to the gift bags. So the gift bag is in place of gift cards. Remember, we are not buying any gift cards with our donations money this year. We're buying gifts. And, I meant to bring our blue Branch Connection bag, but it's about the height of this notebook. Have y'all seen the blue Branch Connection bag? Okay, that's what we're gonna use for the gift bag. And inside that gift bag, we've come up with about $1,900 worth of gifts. And that is with a flashlight, a spiral notebook that's 8 by 5 inches, a bottle of water that has our artwork on it. We're gonna put. Yes, and we're gonna put artwork on the notebook, also our own artwork. And then, the Hershey bar is gonna be rewrapped with our game night theme. We're gonna do fun finger flashlights, 2 of them in each bag. And then, inspirational pens to go with the notebook. Then we're hoping that maybe Dallas Medical Center will provide hand sanitizer and maybe, first aid kit. Or if you're out and about and a company wants to contribute, as long as it fits in our bag, we could put it in our bag as part of the gift.
But that'd be great for like
Yeah, it'd have to be 300.
3.
How many?
300. 300. So,
Well, I have 3 sponsors who are willing to give 300.
maybe 4.
I have 3 sponsors that are willing to give. I don't know, maybe you'll, I don't know. Oh, maybe 4.
Okay. Let's see. So the entertainment, so the actors, the photo booth, the caricatures, and if we get a DJ, and all the decorations, they all come out of our budget, our $25,000 budget. Then the gifts, so the gift bag items and the other things that we purchase that people will win, that will come out of the donations money. Our funny money has been printed and I'm gonna pass it around for y'all to look at. Can't have it, I brought one. And then, in your envelope is your 2 complimentary game night tickets, and you can open it and look at how the artwork turned out if you would like to.
And the tickets and the money was reviewed by the game night committee.
It was designed. And the game night tickets and the game night fund money was donated by Alpha Graphics.
Flexpress.
Flexpress, I'm sorry, Flexpress. Karen Brown.
Oh,
Midway-ish.
And so they'll be recognized as the sponsor when game night version complete. And that's about all I have.
So in the write-up, on the bottom part, there's the conversation about the new fiscal year game night event and discuss stages of game night event will evolve into a series or multiple social events versus the current one big event. So I know last year, if y'all remember, we had a conversation of do we stop doing such a one big time event and make it a couple times throughout the year? And we took the Survey Monkey and then the hard count voting, it was essentially a split 50-50. So the question to y'all is, because this is hosted by the senior advisor, is if we decide for next fiscal year, starting October, to break this into a 3-part series versus one, then there has to be conversation of what are we gonna do for the first thing that's different? So that, because this essentially could go back to back, because if it was, well, we do game night on September 14th, I think it would make sense between October and November to get one of those series off. So would it be a Halloween thing? Would it be a Christmas thing? Would it be a New Year's thing? I don't know. That would be the decision, but that's the direction. That's something that needs to be discussed now, because we're trying to put together something together that's happening in September. And so we're doing something within that next part. We've got to kind of piggyback whatever that is, because the idea is that then when we get to January, February, March, April, May, June, July, we have another event in there somewhere. And then do we do another one at the end of September? This was just because if we don't have this conversation now, we're gonna be too late.
It's like without knowing when we're getting back in the building, it seems premature to take on planning another event.
I mean, we're doing an event at a different location right now. So, I mean, same concept.
Are we looking at a calendar, January through December,
October through September.
October through September? So we're doing a September, so we're starting in October again.
Right, so September is the end of our fiscal year, and so October 1 starts our new year. Right, so from October through September is our 12-month range.
My thinking is to alternate, have 1 year game night and then 1 year with multiple entertainment, and then go back to game night. Because there's just enough people that don't go to game night that would look for another, would appreciate another entertainment. And the senior folly group will come to the renovated. If you have a stage, they will put on a review at a individual location. So we could bring something in like that.
Well, yes, but that would impact what we're doing with game night.
We still have in that October timeframe, prep fair and.
But none of that really impacts the $25,000 that we get. So basically, we have $25,000 that we can divide into 3 different events. Or we can have 3 $8,000 events.
When's that fiscal year end?
September.
Yeah, okay. So, no,
So this game night now. You
Wow.
We do 3 different events we solicit donations to.
No,
So that was the whole conversation about changing it into a series, was to get away from the sponsorships as far as the donation aspects to that. To where these events, and Matt had made an example of y'all did a Margaritaville. And all it is social gathering. There's no prizes, there's no raffles, no nothing like that. It's just a social gathering.
You guys did one in the past?
When we did Margaritaville, this is actually the first connection. And we had 100 people show up that night. And we also sold $5 tickets for that. And, but we had 100 people show up.
Well, we charged for the event.
Without charging, the number of participants would go be even bigger.
I would suggest that this next fiscal year doing, like we had talked about 3 or 4, maybe just knocking it into 2. Right, and doing like a Margaritaville party and maybe a senior frolic thing, depending on how much they charge. I don't know how much they charge.
Well, when I
They charge something.
Yeah, when I talked to them about a year ago.
Yeah,
I'm telling you what.
yeah, but then that would put us not in trying to plan in another event while we're still working on game night.
Sure.
It would give us the break, get us back in the building, hopefully. And then we could do maybe
2,
2.
just go to 2. And then as we're
Yeah,
as
maybe
we're-
like a spring and
as we're,
fall.
as we're chopping
Okay.
those 2 up, we can again revisit the conversation of what does this look like now, October? Is it still 2? Do we go to 3? Whatever. So that's fine. So we'll read after game night, when we get to October, put it back on the agenda and we'll start talking about what that first one will be, what the second, just kind of plan the tentative dates with that and then just kind of
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right, anything else on game night?
You don't like that, Drew?
No, I don't think. Yeah. One big game.
Well, maybe.
My thinking behind that was that well, we have $25,000 budget, and in the past, we were soliciting $15,000. $40,000 that we were spending on 250 people. And a lot of those 250 people were one timers. At the end of the branch connection at one time. All, and we're spending, I think it's $100-something per person for just that one event. And like that, it was better and more fair to our patrons to share events with our patrons rather than the one timers who came once a year. And we were spending $100-something per person. It just made more sense to me to share that money with our patrons and be able to serve more patrons for the same amount of money.
I agree, I think you reach more people if you don't limit it because I don't know any of those games.
Well, but I don't want people to just say, well, I don't gamble and don't lose out. And
You're offering them other options
Yes.
throughout the year, then you have a better chance of having people who would. not-
we have a variety of interests.
I agree. I think that's an awful lot of money to spend on game night and a lot of hard on it this winter and go out and ask people for money. Well,
Super responsive.
sure.
For sure.
I,
Well, I mean,
Should we- Whether we split it into 1 or 2, voice, or should we just wait until?
Well, when they voted, it was almost 50-50. So obviously there is a group that,
you know, we'd like to. I just. Jackie. Want to do that, and I think that's. Tammy's idea was very good. splitting. All right, anything else on that? Thank you so much, Jennifer. We're gonna move on to C4 review events and activities. This agenda item above allows board members to discuss and give feedback on any activities or events attended and review the upcoming calendar on January 2nd, 2024. The Bridge Connection Coastal Renovation programs will be hosted at alternate locations listed in the units. And no programs at the First Baptist Church on July 4th and July 8th through 19th.
So, Zuma Gold, it's on Tuesdays over at the Press Center, 6:15 p.m. And then over at the First Baptist on Mondays, we have our posture renewal. Tuesdays and Thursdays is our mindful yoga about bodies. Mondays and Wednesdays, our Tai Chi class. And our power walking, we still have our power walking going on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then Bayview 1842, July 22nd, we'll have the mixer. And again, on July 29th, we already had our breakfast. Last week we had our cooking club. So Friday Friends will be tomorrow. And then on the 22nd, it's the book club movie. On the 25th is our Texas Ranger game. And then also on the 25th is our Texas Hold'em. On the 30th is our Tuesday trivia. Linda Epple over at the library is teaching Computer Basics 1.
Also at the library is the craft night on Monday nights. And I really like it at library versus the office center.
Yeah, I got Bransky Library, Mondays, evening crafts. As far as recurring weekday activities. And then at the center, we have our fly tying on the 15th and the 22nd. And then at the church on Mondays, we have our art group, fun and team share volleyball, open recreation, open mahjong, think abilities, duplicate bridge. Tuesdays is line dancing, high and low beginner, dulcimers, open rec. Wednesdays, live dancing, improver, open rec, and open mahjong. Thursdays is fun and team share volleyball, open rec, and instructional quilting group. And Friday is our quilting group, party bridge, open rec, recreation, neglected history, and fun share volleyball.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question. The chair volleyball. When we were at the rec center, did they play on Thursday? Or was that just the Monday playing?
So we added a day when we switched because of availability.
Okay.
But because I originally had asked Sam, because over there we had Monday, Thursday, Friday. No, we had Monday, Thursday, Friday. Sorry.
So where did they play on Thursdays when we had Expo?
In that room to the right, the ski room.
Did they?
Wait, isn't that where Texas Hold'em is?
No, Texas Hold'em is the. Because I remember I told Sam, I can only give you Thursday and Friday. And he picked Friday, so they were gonna do Monday and Friday. Then once we got over there, we added Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember.
Any other questions on events and activities? We'll move on to C5, receive an update from all appointed subcommittees. This agenda item allows the board members to report, discuss, and exchange information regarding any updates from the Spotlight Memorial Century or renovation subcommittee. No reports from subcommittees were submitted at the time of this report. So, yes, Jackie.
So you will get, after this meeting, you're gonna get a blind copy. July 17th, which is a Wednesday, 30, we are going to do a walkthrough with, it'll be senior advisory board, staff, city council, and city manager. And our, EPT, manager, he will also do that. But I wanted to tell y'all first before I send the invite, so that there's no confusion. So it's Wednesday, July 17th, 11:30. The walkthrough, the renovation. Yes.
How far along are they?
They've got a lot of stuff done. Know the specifics, but they're on track.
That's for phase one. what is the status of phase two?
We're trying to get the contract for the bidder for council in August, because they only have one meeting in July. So we're hoping, I think, August sixth, if not August sixth, it'll be the next one to be in front of council to approve the contract. And so that way they can just start.
And it adds originally designed because of the difference between the bond and the last I heard, there was a difference between the bond quantity and the last bid. There was $1 difference.
Correct. I mean, there's a
We're not
difference.
making any renovations to our design requirements
No, it's,
because of the
no,
dollar
it's,
discrepancy.
it's the exact same phase two that we were getting done.
Okay,
So the number changed, what we had the bond for. But we have some different funds that they added to it to cover the expense. And so the layout of what phase two upgrades and renovations are, I think changed.
okay. And the family bathroom. It is going to be, because I keep running into the children's bathrooms at the church, that the commodes considerably older.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the family bathroom in the,
I have to check with whatever their scope was. You're talking about for the one down at the south end that they're doing right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
yes,
I know that when we first had talked about the plans way back when, we had told them to put the higher toilets in. And they said that they did it. I just got to circle back around and ask them.
okay. Because since the craft room is also at the south end, and on my mobility is
Sure.
less,
Yeah.
that would be my primary bathroom.
Yeah.
So that's my personal desires.
Yeah.
Also, what is the status of our century?
Oh, Idris Hannigan will be recognized on August sixth at 6 p.m. for turning 100 years old
City Council.
at City Council. Idris and her son, Jim Hannigan was the one that has been coordinating with.
That's the son that she lives with.
Correct.
And so it's August 6th at 6 p.m. City Council.
They'll do a proclamation.
I'll tell Sarah.
I confirmed Jim, but I forgot. I have.
I'll call Sarah.
Did I tell Sarah? If you let Sarah know that, I would appreciate it.
Is the mayor aware of this?
Yeah, so because he wanted to do it in July. So I was communicating through Aaron, because he's secretary. And so, because her birthday, I think, is July 19th, and they don't want to get whatever, it's July 15th, or whatever, they only had their one meeting this. So we went back and forth, and we said August, he confirmed August 6th, but I needed to set up with Jim, make sure that Idris could get there. And Aaron came back and said, August 6th, which is that Tuesday.
So you're not gonna do anything at the church?
It's gonna be downstairs. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'll show you the email.
Anything else committee wise stuff?
Russell answered. One, and I think he should be at even more.
Since I'm a board member for July, I can come to the renovation tour.
Sorry, sir.
Since I'm a board member for July.
Sharon?
Not sure.
Come to the renovation
Correct.
tour.
Correct.
They couldn't hear it, Sharon. They couldn't hear it when you turn around like.
Let me confirm that ceremonial, because it's not on the agenda when we went over it. So,
Because
we'll confirm it. That's because I wanted to double check, because I did not see that. We go the departmental meeting, and I didn't recall it being on there, and I don't see it, so. But it's not, so we'll double check.
All right, we'll move on. Any other questions on subcommittees? D6. Discuss agenda items, for future senior advisory board meetings. This item was placed on the agenda so that board members could recommend topics discussed at future meetings. No topics were submitted at the time of this report. Next month, we will have elections. For board officers. So if anybody is interested in any position. Like that, you know. Do you like to serve? Chair, vice chair, or secretary?
And next August meeting, we'll have the quarterly, report, the third quarter report. That'll be.
Anything else that you can?
Will you continue having the meetings here?
It will be in the city hall study.
When we get
Either.
to C7.
Any other agenda items? Jackie, you should be aware of right now. Time limit. Submit the. C7.
So in September, we'll have our meeting on September 12th. August 8th, you'll be here, City Hall study session. And then September 12th, we'll be back over at the rec. We will also be working on the council update, the 1 year. We'll get that information by the 30th. And then we'll review it on our standard meeting on October 10th. And then November, we have the council update year review on the 12th. And then our standard meeting is 2 days later on the 14th. And then December, we'll have a meeting on the 12th with the standard meeting at 11:30 instead of 1, and then we'll do our holiday lunch right after.
Any questions about that? Anything else? Motion's been made to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the meeting on the computer. Yes. Okay. Before we leave, I would like to thank Wayne and Sharon for this is their last meeting. And we want to thank Wayne so much for secretarial prowess. And Sharon, and I'm sure for your help throughout the year. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you here. Strangers.
Yeah.
No, I think I will attend the meeting even though I'm not.